Quercus Rex. I've read his history. Quite gruesome, even for a human. This won't be of any use.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
The child considers your statement.
You're weird. Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching the shadows cloaking your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Or crazy. Maybe you're right. At least they don't mind where anyone goes. They know we can't leave the island. And it's a lot nicer out here than outside. They're gone now. Their magisters took them already. I guess now they're cured. And maybe they're waiting for me back at home. But you didn't die. I guess I am. But it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. They made it to shore.
Here, Quercus. Another giant. My word, this blasted isle is teeming with them. Was that? Yes, I did see how it managed to survive an attack by the Great Acorn's servants. Impressive, just as you say. But that is no reason to trust it. Giants like that destroyed our forests. They are the very reason the Great Acorn is returning in all its wrath. What? Dear me, have you taken leave of all 6 of your senses? You would have me use this giant for a shield? Why would I... Oh, but I see. You are a cunning devil, Quercus. Of course, if it escaped the great acorn's vile servants, it can do so again. We need only follow in its big, wide shadow and be safe. Egads! It speaks our tongue, Quercus! Hush before... What do you mean, a good time for introductions? You know full well who I am, you silly old cat. The great Solora, grandest of the... Oh, introduce myself to the giant. I shall do no such thing. You give away your trust too easily, my dear steed. No, we will have the giant march. In time, we'll see whether it deserves our confidence. Now, onwards! Shield! Venture forth, post-haste. The great acorn waits for no one.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red colour. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, 2 smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Now then, if there's nothing further... I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Touché.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. Of course, it's rather specific. Quite obviously, I'm musing over the very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. You really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? The very same. I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer, the spouse of the sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. Truly. A kind offer indeed. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine. I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer. One of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. You do tend to beat around the bush, don't you? Oh well, that wishy-washy answer will have to do then. Oh my word. How you do astound me. Come now, did you really think a handful of linen towels can fool me? But don't worry. I have studied the arcane arts for years, including necromancy and demonology. I do not hold the petty prejudices of common folks. In fact, I prefer the exceptional in all things. Your secret is safe with me. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Very well. Onwards then to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go.
Ah, hello, small, furry creature. How do you do?
It seems we're not the only ones taking on strays.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity.
What? How did I get... Hey, stop following me. Huh? Yeah, fine. I'm fine. I'm not sure. It's all a little foggy.
The cat opens his mouth as if to speak, but his eyes lose focus, and with a jerk he turns away from you. The cat's eyes are clouded... The cat's eyes are...
Oh, how pensively our shield looks down upon us. Dear me! It has questions, Quercus. Why, yes, I suppose. Speak! Shield! What are your queries? A giant body, but no giant brain, eh, Quercus? Surely even the tall folk know that Rivellon was bare before the great acorn fell from above and seeded the Irwood, covering this land in beautiful, perfect forests. Beautiful and perfect until the giant races, no offense, realized they could use it to build their houses and fuel their fires. They carved the Irwood up, and the forests shrank and shrank. None of the original wood remains. But someday, the great acorn will fall again. The forests will be reborn, and the giant races will be wiped from this world. At least that's what I hear. Oh, Quercus, it wants answers. As if it is the first creature to ponder the big questions of the universe. What tree did the great acorn fall from? Where did that tree come from, if not a greater acorn? Could you build a nest great enough to store the great acorn for the winter? Some questions have no answers. Quercus, why is that so difficult to understand? The great acorn will come. It will destroy the world, and squirrels will reign supreme forever. I fail to see what's so difficult to grasp. What do you say, Quercus? We once believed it was good, but now... No, quite right. As terrible as the giants have been to us, we do not want to see them wiped out. Rather, we must find a way to live together in peace, giant and squirrel.
Solora stops short, then shakes his head and pats Quercus affectionately.
Squirrels change, don't they, Quercus? Priorities change. If we do not adapt, we are sure to perish.
Deplorable surrounding for an agreeable conversation, but go ahead. There was a small incident which prompted my many rivals to move against me. Technically, they had the letter of the law on their side. Such a nuisance, the law. Quite necessary to keep the common in line, of course, but one such as myself it should exempt as a matter of course. By the rabble and for the rabble. You're one of those, are you? Remember that by the rabble and for the rabble, sorcerers are being exiled to hell pits like these. We'll see if you'll still trumpet the virtues of law when its executors turn to us with malicious intent. I hardly know you as yet. Let's leave some mystery in the relationship, shall we? We can exchange criminal records later. There isn't much to say, but for the fact that I simply must. It's the portent of it all. I can feel it. The revelation will be world-changing. I just know it. How you lack in vision. By the time I'm done, I will have real castles in the sky. As certain as the sun, such is my conviction. I will be, then grow beyond being. As am I. A prince should die of old age or on the battlefield. Anything else could be construed as weakness of character. That said, I've the distinct feeling I wasn't meant to die today. For despite your heroics, I was still cast into the water. I sank. I drowned. But there was something in the water. A voice made of air that soothed my flooding lungs. There was sudden light, warmth, life. Truly, how intriguing. To hear a voice whilst drowning is a rather specific delusion to share, is it not? Still, I wonder if...
He hesitates.
Are you a religious person? A pity. Religions tend to be all too self-important in their supposed humility.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. They made it to shore.
Look here, Quercus. What do you mean? Our shield speaks, Quercus. Prick. Speak. A giant Oh, what treats? No. Rather, we must find a way to live together.
Squirrel. The squirrel looks at you in shock. Are you sure you want to chase him away? The squirrel turns his nose up at you and turns away. But his...
Yet the lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dance.
I did. You have my...
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
My gratitude is worth a great deal, if only you'd realize it. But now then, if there's nothing further... I'm sure I don't mean... Please tell me, what do you see? Memories?
He looks up.
As for my... I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon. What do you mean? What do I mean?
Suddenly...
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't... The very same... Of course...
There's a...
That said, the grandeur that is my fate, truly. Fine. On one... For reasons, I've reason to believe one of them may... You do tend to be... Oh, my word. How you do... Come now, did you really think I had... But don't worry. So, now that... Even if you are... As a born fighter, I prefer the... Very well. Onwards, then, to victory or...
The Red Prince nods.
Now, as your luck, of course, there are other... Yes. Is it an audience you desire? There was a small... Such a nuisance, the law. Quite necessary to keep the common in line. What I meant was that, being authority, I shouldn't be under any thumb. Sadly, that enlightened point of view quite clearly turned out to be academic. If not, we wouldn't be having this very conversation. I hardly know you as yet. Let's leave some mystery in the relationship, as am I. That said, there was something in the water. Truly. Still.
He hesitates.
Are you a religious person? I'm rather relieved to hear it. Religious persons tend to be all too self-important in their supposed... As for myself, I perform the ancient rites of prayer and ceremony with a kind of languid indulgence. After all, when one is revered by many as a living god oneself, public deprecation would be needlessly self-important as well. There isn't much... It's the... And justified. As certain as the sun, such is my conviction. I will be. I intend to rule an empire one day, not a tiny out... To that end, I suggest we... Of course, I'd much appreciate it if we managed to find a dreamer first.
Ah, hello, small, furry creature. How do you do?
It seems we're not the only ones taking on strays.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity.
What? What? No, that can't be. I can't... Hey, stop following me. Huh? Yeah, fine.
The cat opens his mouth as if to speak.
Hey, mister. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me. Now, where should I put this one?
The cat's eyes are clouded.
Now, where should I put this one?
We already... Now speak. Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Stay silent, you!
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere. I can't wait all day.
The lizard magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her penalty was fair.
I've spotted something. I don't have the right tool for digging.
Saw 'em, didn't you? The Hammer and Alexander. They gave that scaly traitor what for, they did. Peace is more than she deserves. She were a traitor to the core. Bishop's the son of the dead divine. Don't know when we'll get a new one, but Alexander's looking after us in the meantime all the same. And the Hammer's a solid sort. Don't take no guff and don't stand for no idling. Earned that name for a reason, she did. When you give up the darkness that's inside you. Take your fault, it's there, mine. But it's there all the same. They're working on a cure for you even now. Got some good leads, so I hear. You can trust Dallas to take care of it. And once you're cured, your life will start again. During the time of Lucian, of course. Who wouldn't join up with God himself? It was all glory, all goodness. When we lost him, well, it only made sense to see his will through. Lucian gave his life to protect Rivellon. If we let the Voidwoken get to it now, well, we'd have lost him for nothing. Fort Joy ain't no summer camp. No one said it were. But it's the best we've got to protect the realm. Can't for certain. But I reckon when God himself gives his life to protect you, you don't waste the gift. You protect it with everything you've got. So that's what we do.
into the dark with you. Drowned and eaten by a Voidwoken. I wonder in which order.
Stare at the slain beasts and comment that they must have been the cause of the shipwreck.
They didn't put up much of a fight. Dry land mustn't suit them.
At noon exactly, didn't I?
Did you see them? You did, right? Those claws. Wonder what's behind the masks, too. Can't be pretty. That, Magister, that was Bishop Alexander, leader of the Divine Order, and his right hand, Dallas. How do you not know this? Better get to it, then. A Magister will come and find you when they're ready for you. Could be a while, though. We're up to our hoods in sinners these days. Move along, eh?
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself, they were so close, almost within arm's reach. A traitor cannot be murdered. A traitor can only receive their due. Easy enough to say in times of peace, but look around. We're standing on the edge of the end. The Voidwoken are coming, sir. And it's only the Divine Order that can protect us.
Where are you, darling?
Fella can't hear himself think with all this racket. Day and night she hollers after that child. You hear that, Farah? You got to cut that out. What's happened to ya?
Known her all my life. Her little girl Irma, too. Farah was a straight-shooting woman in those days, but now she's madder and a cuckoo and twice as loud.
What else do you call hollering after a ghost? That child of hers she's shouting after has been dead and buried a month over. Killed by a Voidwoken back in our home village. Never even stepped foot in Fort Joy. And there ain't no amount of hollering that'll bring her back.
Please, please, you must help me. No one here will help me. Not one of these bastards. A child is missing. My baby. Irma. She's called Irma. I haven't seen her in days. I'm sick with worry. Completely sick. And no one in this damn camp will lift a finger to help me find her. I last saw her just here, near 3 days ago. She was playing with her little doll, and I was washing out her tunic. I turned from her for one moment, and she was gone. Left her doll behind, too. It's so unlike her. This place turns people cold. Cold and wicked. That fellow Jeth over there speaks unutterable evil, but I can't move away from him. What if Irma comes back and I'm not here? Yes, of course. Here, you should take it with you. When you find her, give her the doll and tell her, Mummy says this is for her little chicken, and it's time to come home. That's what I call her. My little chicken.
She soaks up a steady stream of tears with her shirt sleeve.
She ought to come with you then. She ought to follow you back to me. You are an angel. Truly you are.
Yes. Is it an audience you desire?
She don't listen to reason. Maybe you'll have better luck than I. If I have to hear calling after Irma another day, I might lose my head. And there's not a soul here who'd blame me.
Have you, cod?
One, two, long dead of the crew. 3. I was always.
I find any.
She ain't coming back.
I don't think I ain't watching. That's your 5th clue just till he's round.
What of it?
Yeah, what of it?
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe.
Don't touch me. You're too close. This collar, this place, it's squeezing the life from me. I can't. I can barely even catch my breath. How is it possible? 1 minute you're in the garden in the sun, the next you're here, and they've put this thing around your neck.
Her hands move again to her throat. She seems to try to make space between her neck and the collar, but there's no space to be made.
It's getting tighter. I can...
Oh, 10 bottles of mead, oh. 1,000 bottles of dust.
Collared like a dog. A very tall, very strange-smelling dog. I'd pity you, but Jack Ineffable has a soft spot for beauty, and you carry that choker off very well. Laughing in the faces of my enemies, of course. Little do they know, the most powerful sorcerer the world has ever known scuttles on their very shores. But of course, they'll happily dump your meager-bony corpse into the sea when they're through with you. Oh, the tragedy of it. Sorcerers dance while magistrats pull the strings. Fools all! Their tomfoolery won't save them from the destruction the void shall wreak upon them. This power is my birthright, same as yours, but one of us has grown to astounding heights and the other has sunken to depths too humiliating to describe. Pity. Ha! Of course, precious. But which is worse, the cure or the disease?
He likes it big and strong. Combs it out all dilly-eye day. Twists and rubs and tweaks the nubs. He strokes and pokes like all the blows. Combs it out all dilly-eye day. Come on, you stubborn hunk of garbage.
The dwarf's fingers clamp around a splintered chunk of wood nailed to the skeleton of an old ship. His whole body strains with the effort of wrenching the plank free, to no avail.
Ah! Got two of my own, haven't I?
The dwarf spits into each of his calloused palms and rubs them together before placing them both back on the plank and pulling.
Bleeding nail must be charmed or something. Go on then, give it a go.
You grab the plank and pull. The rusted nail pops loose, and the plank promptly crumbles to pieces in your hand.
Oh, look at that. Nice of you to finish the job after I loosened her up.
He winks and flips a gold coin toward you. It makes a long, high arc, glinting in the sun, and lands squarely in your hand.
For your trouble. No, but I'd hoped to build something with it that would be worth 1,000. Yeah, it were a fool's errand thinking I could make something out of this heap, but I couldn't help myself from trying.
He sucks a finger and holds it up to the wind, testing the breeze.
Winds like these, she would have capsized before she reached the break. Well, on to plan B.
He gives you a wry look, as though deciding whether to trust you.
Aye, was planning to build me a raft and paddle off. I've got business north of here, in a town called Driftwood. Far be it from me to miss an appointment. Maybe you don't.
He stands before you and pokes you in the side, seizes your shoulder with a great, strong hand.
There's something of you, you know? You don't have to accept your fate on this bloody island. You can leave here, get on with your life. Why don't we make a deal then? You help me get out of this place, and I'll do the same for you. That's the spirit.
He lifts an invisible cap and bows with the grace of a courtier.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. The name's... well, the name's dead and buried. What matters is what they call me. Beast. May have been cast out, but you can bet your last heel of breed she wishes she hadn't have. I've taken my revenge 1,000-fold on that tyrant's fleet. I'll tell you when you're older. Anyhow, we're a team now, so the me is not half as important as the us. Let's get down to brass tacks. Fighting, I mean. I've been up and down the realm so often it'd make your cabbage spin, and I picked up a few tricks along the way. Truth be told, I've grown fond of crushing and casting. A battle mage, if you like. But there's not so important as team dynamics. So what'll it be? Then it's settled. Capital! Well, that's that sorted. Onward then. I've got to get out of here, and soon. And I suppose you do too. One like you mean? No skin off my nose. More rum for me. You carry it off very well, by the by. The old beast's been around the block and there's no fooling him. Now, onward!
I found you, didn't I? Red, they said. Red, then dead. Not an attempt, mate. Not if I can bloody help it. Time's up, Your Highness. Let's dance. It's stabbing time.
heal yourself.
Not an attempt, mate. Time's up, Your Highness.
Out all dilly-eyed.
Ha! I found you, didn't I? Red, they said. Red, then dead.
Out all dilly-eyed. Combs it out all dilly-eyed. You see, he likes it big and strong. Combs it out all dilly-eyed. He twists and rubs and tweaks the nubs. He strokes and pokes like all the blokes. He say he'll touch it all day long. Combs it out all dilly-eyed.
Neither void we can consume their joy, their misery. Likes it thick and long. Combs it out all dilly-eyed. You say he likes it big and strong. Combs it out all dilly-eyed. Twists and rubs and tweaks the nubs. He strokes and pokes like all the blokes. You say he'll touch it all day long. Combs it out all dilly-eyed.
reckon long. Combs it out all dilly-eyed. You see, he likes it big and strong. Combs it out all dilly-eyed. Twists and rubs and tweaks the nubs. He strokes and pokes like all the blokes. You see, he'll touch it all day long. Combs it out all dilly-eyed.
Neither void work can consume their joy, their misery.
Come on, you stubborn.
The dwarf's fingers...
Ah! Got two of them.
The dwarf's...
Ah!
You grab...
Well,
he winks.
For your trouble. No.
He gives you a ride.
Aye. Was planning to build me a raft and paddle off. I've got business north of here.
Maybe
why don't we make a deal then? You... Ah, it's this. Well, that's quite the story now. Suffice to say, I'd at least be... Anyhow, let's get down to brass tacks. I've been up and down the realms. Then it's settled. Capit! Well, that's that sorted. Onward then. Not drawing many winning cards of late, but I won't be crying over it. See...
I found you, didn't I? Red, they said. Them that pay the bills, of course. I'll be a rich man when you're 6 feet under. Time's up, Your Highness. Let's dance. It's stabbing time.
Yield to none. healer.
Is mine!
Feeding.
Healer!
I'm fading.
I found not an attempt, mate. Time's up. You're. It's stabbing time.
Is mine.
I'm fading.
only mean that if you think about it logically, she's much better off.
Leave it, Sam. I won't say it again. Oh, 10 bottles of mead. Oh.
You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? Are you quite alone? In that case, listen up. You must think me mad to approach a stranger, but this camp is full of cowards and I'm running out of time. Fast. Too fast. Way too fast. I've been here a long time. Longer than anyone else. People get taken sometimes. Some folks say I have a way out of here. It won't be easy, and I need a partner. Just one. Are you interested?